G'day everybody and welcome to the House of Mario South Australian Nintendo podcast that is backed by a 120 Power Star rating. I'm your host Drew Agnew and the doors to episode 287 are open. Today on the show we're going to be talking about Astro Bot and a bunch of other things we've been playing. That Nintendo game, Astro Bot. It feels Nintendo. Close enough, I guess.
Super Mario Galaxy 3, Drew.
Yeah, all in but name. To talk all about that is my good friend Josh, or JT if you like. Josh, how you going, mate?
Very well, thank you, Drew. A bit of a quieter week for me, especially on the Nintendo side. So I don't have a lot to talk about from gaming on my Switch, but definitely played a bit of Astro Bot. So I feel like I've been playing a Nintendo game weirdly enough all week.
You must feel really out of place, Josh. You know, you're a Nintendo boy. You're usually on that Switch, dabbling around or whatever Nintendo's been cooking at. But do you feel a bit of, sacrilegious at some point? You know, you got the DualSense in your hands. You're playing a game by someone else. God, it must bit of a fright.
I definitely will be the first to admit I don't play my PlayStation enough. So I've I got my Switch and awesome to play countless hours on the Switch, and obviously having my own podcast about Nintendo. Going to rack up them hours on my Switch, but I should dabble on the PlayStation side a bit more. So every time I do get onto it, and so Astro Bot's obviously brought me across. That was like a day one announcement. Like I knew I was going to get that game. It was just I knew I was going to enjoy it, and I have, and I kind of freak out and marvel over the controller every time because I freaking love that controller, man. That DualSense, the PS5 controller is amazing. The adaptive triggers, just how it speaks to you, the rumble, all of it is LED screen, the lights and all that just sort of makes me. I keep thinking about what the Switch 2 or successors controller is going to look like, and I hope they take some inspiration from Astro Bot and how they've used the controller for that kind of reason. So. I need to play it more. Over the break, I'll play some more games. I'm not covering Nintendo all the time. I want to cover Nintendo, obviously, and that's why I made the show. But branch out and play some more things. Some more adult games.
That's more adult games like Astro Bot.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's how it's got me across.
Yeah, no, it's I definitely went through that as well. Just when the Switch came out, my PlayStation 4 game time just went in the dumpster pretty much.
Yeah.
I was playing Switch. It's only the last few years where I've sort of branched out again from Switch, and it definitely was my main platform, but now everything else is a little bit on equal footing compared to it. I am playing a lot on PlayStation, a lot on Steam, which I never thought I'd be doing, but I'm doing with the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck. And Xbox with Game Pass and all that. So everywhere's sort of got my attention. So it's not all directed at Switch everything at the moment.
Which is good. Just Switch is so easy though. I've never really felt like I've needed to sort of play other things. Like the Switch has satisfied me, which is probably not a bad thing. There's so many good games on it. So, but definitely playing Astro Bot now, it's just this is a big next gen jump in terms of look and controls and the controller. So what could Super Mario Odyssey 2 bring that's in Astro Bot here? I've seen a lot of people debate saying Astro Bot can teach us nothing about 3D Mario and what it can do, and I don't know about that with the people because I definitely agree 3D Mario is better games overall, but just the use of the technology and the visuals and integrating the controller experience, I think there's definitely a couple of things that they could utilize in that next 3D Mario. I'll take inspiration from. I'm sure they're watching closely at this release anyway.
Yeah, because for the most part, Nintendo has a lot of the genres they cover just all to themselves. There's nothing else as big as Super Smash Brothers as far as that platform fighting game go. There's no other massive 3D platformers anymore. They've got that to themselves. And of course there's Mario Kart, which, there's no other
people try
arcade racer that's sells 60 million copies. It's just insane. So that's why it's so exciting with Astro Bot, just the fact that we actually do have something to compare to 3D Mario because it's only basically the indie developers going up against Nintendo for the most part. Like,
Yeah, that's right.
a lot of people doing callbacks to stuff like Mario 64 with, Hat in Time, and obviously Ukulele from the old Rare team who, big homage to Banjo-Kazooie. Like,
Yes.
there are developers doing it, but it's not on, I guess, the scale that can compete with Mario. And
No.
I guess Team Asobi at Sony, finally did it. I really enjoyed the game. I platinumed the game, but I'll be keen to hear what you think about the game, Josh. Where you at the moment, and how you're finding it?
Yeah, so I'm up to World 3, I believe. I've hit over 100 bots are rescued, so out of 300, at least I think there's 300, there might be more. But it's just very fun and easy and enjoyable. So, it's very much like Super Mario Galaxy, how they got the different mini galaxies, I suppose, some bigger, some smaller, that you go to, and it's all themed around this one thing, and you very much get the Super Mario Galaxy vibes. And as someone who loves those platformers, like, Super Mario Galaxy was so big and so enjoyable for me as a child growing up with it. It's just like a little bit of like a trip down memory lane, but also how like you want to remember those games or how you thought those games looked, like, because you go back to like older games, they might look a bit rougher than you remember, but with this sort of like tainted sort of lens of like updated graphics, you're like, this is how I remember Super Mario Galaxy looking back in the day. But it's super fun. The controls are great. I love the power-ups that you get integrated throughout the levels. And so I think we talked about last week the mouse one, but then I've got like the boxing ones now. You just there was one that was creating, or the elephant creating the platforms. I thought that was, wasn't expecting that. So it's just like taking these different platforming elements, putting it all together, and it's it's a short, pretty fun time. You're in and out a bit, but I think it's so condensed, full of goodness. There's no fluff or anything like that. It is just good fun stuff throughout the entire time. So it's been super, super fun. I'm going to try and platinum it. I keep getting trophies. It's not hard to get trophies in this game. You're just sort of playing normally. And you're like, oh, yep, another trophy. Got something with the slots the other day. A trophy. That was pretty easy. I'm hoping it's nothing too grueling at the end. What did you have to do to get it? Was it more than you thought, or nothing too bad?
No, it's just pretty much 100% the game and a couple of other challenges, like just odd things and levels. There's at the end of each world, there's like a whole level around one PlayStation franchise, and in those levels, there's like a unique collectible. So it's just like get all of those for a trophy in the individual levels. It's pretty simple. The hardest bit is just those challenge levels where it is like that linear path, and you are like doing the platforming, and a lot of people are posting about it on Twitter. Just a particular one in the lava world where it's a little bit tricky. And I remember being stumped on it for a little bit, just especially at the start of it. But once you get the hang of it, you sort of get used to it and you can get through it. But the challenge levels are probably the hardest bit. At the very end, there's like a very end challenge. And that took me about an hour and a bit of just dying to it. I was just there, just going again and again and again.
Yeah.
And when I beat it, I'm like, it really wasn't that hard. I think I was just sort of out of it. It was late at night, and I was just like, it wasn't on my A game. I was just like, look, I know where I'm at. I'm a dad. It's late at night.
Just can't do it all the time.
I'm not going to perform at my best. So
didn't get it up.
It's just going to take me longer than it probably should. But no, it was so much fun. And like I said, it's great to have another game that's just a really great polished 3D platformer, which is nice, and it's very rare, especially from PlayStation. It's gotten very serious. The games over there, I love their games, but there's no just pop on and play, and games that you can share with your kids as well. That's something that I'm really appreciating with Nintendo. It's coming into its own, where say like Luigi's Mansion 2 comes out, like I can easily play that with Lucas, play it in front of him. But like with PlayStation, where it's like, Stellar Blade, which I'm playing at the moment, can't play that in front of Lucas. Holy shit!
Oh, no.
It's awesome. Don't get me wrong, but there's like these monsters, and then like your main character Eve, you do like a finisher, and you put the sword into the head, and then you like drag it down their back, and they're just spewing with blood. It's sick. It's awesome, but not quite the family friendly game. It's just it is nice to have one of them on a different platform, and something that just feels different. Because as much as I love Mario, I'll play every Mario game that comes out for the rest of my life if they keep making them as good as they do. Like, honestly.
Yeah, yep.
But yeah, it's just nice to have something different. And yeah, it's good fun. It's good fun.
That's really fun.
A lot of people are sort of comparing it to Mario, and it's easy to see why, because it is up there. Certainly up there with Mario. I don't know. It's hard to compare them because I don't know. One's a great game and another one's also a great game. It's hard to say like what's better, what's worse. There are some things that I like in Astro Bot, which I would like to see in Mario. Like, for example, in the Mario games, there's usually like the 3 coins or something to find along the way. But I find it a lot more satisfying finding these characters and collectibles and puzzle pieces along the way. I find that a lot more satisfying than just like the 3 coins. I would like to see maybe more stuff or more characters hidden within Mario levels. I think that would be very satisfying. And what else? I also really like how the PS5, since it's much more powerful than anything Mario's ever been on, how like it has all the physics, like all the apples and the acorns and the bolts and everything. How you're able to like
that's satisfying hitting them. And getting
hitting through them, or you got the magnet and you can bring all the metal to you, and it's just it's very satisfying. It's very fun. It just adds to the fun and how you can interact with things, and reminds me of how I used to interact with Mario 64. Just triple jump around the place and just see what I could do within the world. And I could see kids just having a ball, like just being in this big pit of apples, just knocking them around and just having fun. And even as an adult, it sort of that brings it out in me too. So. Anybody that's a big Nintendo fan, big Mario fan, if you've got a PlayStation, get this game. It's fantastic. I don't think the reviews have been hyperbolic. This is honestly my game of the year so far. I truly love it. It was just so much fun. It's one of the games too, because I played a lot of games this year, and I sort of play them. I get my satisfaction and I move on. But platinuming Astro Bot, I'm like, I'm sad that it's over. I'm sad that it's done. I'm like, man, I've got a couple of trophies, or they added like extra characters to Astro's Playroom, which was like the free version that came with your PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
A little bit. I was like, maybe I go back to that one and just find the extra things in that.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of sad it's over. I want to go back.
Yeah. It's not long, is it? Like 15 hours? Is that what it took you reckon? In the end,
maybe my PlayStation clock says 19 for the platinum.
Okay. Yeah.
But I left it paused and stuff while I was, tending to my children and stuff.
Yeah.
While I was in the. So really great game. Really great game.
It's great.
Really loved it.
I hope we get more. I love Team Sobe's done such a great job with this one, and it's been talked about pretty heavily, it's this smaller team that they've had to create this game, and it's been, such a cool experience, and I think came at a pretty good time, because if this hadn't come out and then in between Concord and the PS5 Pro kind of discourse, I think
oh my
it would
God,
have been a very rough time for Sony and PlayStation, but they've at least have had a really big hit with Astro Bot, so I think love to see it perform well, and we need more 3D platformers out there, and Mario does it very well, but why not share the love? And it's a genre I really love, and I'd love to see this Astro Bot format sort of a bit more open world area. These are very get to from point A to point B kind of platforming, which I've got no issue with at all. But they could massively get to out in the open and see what Bowser's Fury had. I want to see what Nintendo does with that, but what could PlayStation and Astro Bot do in something similar kind of capacity? Really explore around an area.
I kind of like Astro Bot being exactly what it is here, just like a linear game. But you are right. I am so excited to see what Nintendo's got cooking with 3D Mario next year.
Oh, yeah.
I assume it's going to be next year. I think we can all sort
Has
of
to be next year.
do a
With the
good
Switch
bet
too.
that we'll get a 3D Mario with a new console next year. I am so
yeah.
excited. The possibility of what they will do after 8 years making a Mario game. You know, just assuming that, you know, there has been a team within the Tokyo studio just making this for the last 8 years, plodding away.
Long
New
time.
game, like the amount of like mechanics Mario implements like in all of his games. Could you imagine that in an open world game where you come across a little section and this is there and that's there, and it's just going to be insane, dude. I cannot wait to see it. And
It's gonna be unreal.
I think especially after the joy this game brought me, just like what's this plumber been cooking for the last few years? It's going to be insane, dude.
FIFA pitch now, and Odyssey is amazing and one of my favorite games ever. So like whatever they do, I just really I can't wait to see it. Might be soon. If there's a Switch successor reveal soon, there could be gameplay footage of the next game, and we could see it very soon.
Very soon, all right.
Yep.
Quote Josh for that one. Put it in the, you know, we've got the inside information right here. Sure, yeah.
Yeah. With Astro Bot though, because I'm not a massive PlayStation like universe fan. So, like, I imagine someone who's played PlayStation all their lives and they see all these characters come back to life. A lot from, you know, a time ages ago, and we haven't seen these entries come back ever or, you know, for a very long time. How was that for you, who's someone who's probably stuck around a little bit more than maybe me?
Yeah, there's a lot of characters that I did not know for sure. There's ones that I recognize, which I'm like, oh, yeah, like, you know, I recognize it.
Yeah.
At least a little bit. And there was a lot. I remember like when I found Ellie from The Last of Us, very excited. Then there's like a lot of other characters that could have been Ellie if I knew,
generic.
but I didn't already have it. Like it's just like brown hair and a ponytail and a t-shirt. I'm like,
Yep.
even if I played the game you were from, it's going to be a little bit tricky.
Okay.
to
I'm glad it wasn't
figure out.
just me then, because I'm like, there's too many of these bots who look the same here. I don't know. I feel like Nintendo's very good with their distinctive designs.
Yeah, there's a lot of like third-party characters in this as well, which is awesome. But yeah, that's cool. I was very excited to find the Gravity Rush characters. I got Kat from Gravity Rush, got her costume, and I played, as soon as I got that, I played through the rest of the game as Kat from Gravity Rush.
Yep.
My favourite PlayStation game. So, that was fun. That added a little bit to the experience, I guess.
Yep.
Got to wear her skin on my my robot.
Yeah.
But yeah, good stuff.
That was good.
After this, I've been like, had an itch for a 3D platformer. So I've been looking at, I had Penny's Big Breakaway on Steam. So I played like a couple of levels of that. Don't really have too much to say on it, but I enjoyed it for the most part, you know, through playing a couple of levels. But yeah, I don't know what's going to scratch this itch, dude. It's just going to be Mario.
Yeah, I think so.
Next year.
I think so.
I was looking at Psychonauts as well. I want to play Psychonauts. I've been wanting to play that forever.
I do want to play that, yeah.
Just where? I don't know. Like, I think there's a good version on PC, so I can play it there. It's backwards compatible on Xbox. There's a few places I can play it, but yeah, it's hard to find a good place to play an old game like that.
Yeah.
So I need this itch scratch, Josh. Maybe some Crash Bandicoot 4? Maybe? I don't know.
Banjo-Tooie when that comes out. On NSO.
Banjo-Tooie. Is it not on NSO yet?
No,
Banjo-Tooie?
Not yet.
Oh. Taking their time.
It will. It'll get there.
One day. So yeah,
One day.
no, it's a good
Yeah,
time
correct.
for 3D platformers. Because one came out
It
but
is.
isn't Mario. It's nice. But Josh, you said you were playing the Castlevania collection as well. How much have you sort of jumped into the Dominus collection?
Yes. So I feel bad because I was so keen for this to come out, and then I've been busy playing MEO, Famicom Detective Club. I really got engrossed into that, and then Astro Bot when that came out, because I finished that the day before Astro Bot came out, so I went straight onto Astro Bot, and I've kind of like forgotten, like, oh yeah, I've got Castlevania Dominus Collection sort of in the background, and so it's only been the last couple of days I'm like picked that back up again with Dawn of Sorrow. That's the first game I've selected to go through. It's just, it's very, very, like, for me, it's a relaxing time, and it's, I'm just enjoying sort of exploring the map, and getting the power ups, it's a whole Metrovania formula, tried and tested, going through it, really enjoying it. So yeah, and done a couple of hours in the last few days, and so sort of slowly gotten back into it now, and I want to just keep chipping away at it, because I haven't finished any of these games properly. I've dabbled in Dawn of Sorrow, then Order of Ecclesia, and haven't touched Portrait of Ruin. So this is me sort of holding off in the last couple of years, waiting for this collection, and now I have it. So it's going to be a super fun time. I'll have to try and smash out as much as I can before Echoes of Wisdom, because that's Thursday next week, which is crazy to think that's coming up so quickly. So Astro Bot and Castlevania, they're my that's all I need for the next little while anyway. For more games come out, it's just it doesn't end. But these games are great. I've heard a lot of people really love these Castlevania DS games, and so while I think I'm still probably going to be on the advance side in terms of what I think are the better games, because I love Aria of Sorrow, and then Circle of the Moon, the first one on GBA. I don't know, just the music of that one. The controls, a little clunky, but you get used to them pretty quick. It's just something about that trilogy on the advanced system that I really like, with Harmony of Dissonance as well. So if I get proven wrong, then so be it, as I play through these DS versions. But they're all very fun, and I'm having a good time when I get the chance to play. I'm just getting less chance to play at the moment with other things going on in life.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Are there any other Castlevania collections that the fans are asking for? Because the DS one was a massive one. Obviously, the Advanced Collection was a massive one as well. Are there any? I think on Switch, is it just
Symphony of the Night?
Symphony of the Night, yeah, because that is available on PlayStation, is it? That was a PS4 re-release. Is it?
Yep.
And then there's an Xbox Live Arcade version of that too, which I think is backwards compatible, because I think I actually picked that up like real cheap maybe 3 years ago, just to have it for when I want to go and play it.
Yeah.
But is it just that as far as collections go?
Yeah, I don't know why Symphony of the Night isn't on the Switch yet, unless there was some exclusivity signage deal with PlayStation, Sony when that was done, because I think that would just be an absolute slam dunk of a release to have on the Switch. I'd buy it again and play it again on the Switch. That'd be so good. Nothing really obvious comes to mind except Lord of Shadow, maybe 1 and 2. You could bundle them together. I mean, they're PlayStation 3 games. You could get them on the Switch going easily. No dramas at all with those, I would have thought. But outside of that, you got the with NSO as well, you got the Game Boy games. These 3 collections have covered a lot of the older games, the DS, and now the Advanced Game Boy Advance games. They got the 64 games. I say games, it's pretty well one, and then one effectively with expansion, just released as a second game, Legacy of Darkness. But outside of that, you got a couple of the more early PlayStation 2 games. I'm not seeing any obvious collections after this. It's kind of like the leftovers in a way, I feel.
Yeah, leftovers and Symphony of the Night, which is like the best regarded one.
Yep.
What could you call that collection? Prime cut and the shit, or the prime cut and like
Castlevania and the rest. I don't know. Just
Symphony of the Night and more.
Honestly, that's I mean, you don't need to bundle Symphony of the Night together, I reckon. I mean, they did that to get on PlayStation. They didn't just have Symphony of the Night. They had Rondo of Blood. So obviously that's one that's not on Switch as well. So it'd be good to get that bundle together, because that's another good game.
Just that port they did for PlayStation 4. Bring it to the Switch.
That's the big one, and everything else is just the weird, different experiments they did since the originals, really.
I was thinking about picking it up because I was just going around the PlayStation app, and on the PlayStation side of things, they got a reward system similar to the gold coins system on the Nintendo eShop, where if you buy stuff and do challenges and shit, you get points in the star system. And
What's this on?
You can the PlayStation app. So on your phone, it's called PlayStation Stars. It's like their rewards program.
Yeah.
And every now and again, you can trade in points for like full games. And one of the full games was the Castlevania Dominus Collection on PS5. I'm like,
yeah.
It's pretty much all of my points. I'm like, oh, look, I'm just going to hold on to them because I think the biggest game they have is Stellar Blade for like 17,000 points. I don't know really how much that equates to in real money or whatever, but I think you can trade in 10,000 points for $30, like credit. So probably works a bit like, a little bit. So it's not a bad deal. So I'm just saving my points for a rainy day for something that really strikes my attention. But it's pretty cool. If you've got some points and you've got the PlayStation, very PlayStation centric episode. Go and play over there. Go and
Nothing's happened in Nintendo this week, which makes me feel there's stuff coming. Because there's been no NSO lately, Drew, either. Nintendo Switch Online, there's been no announcements for like a month.
Yeah, does that mean we're going to get one like tonight?
I feel like something's happening.
In between recording and it going up.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you reckon they're at?
We're due for something.
You reckon they're at Nintendo HQ? Like, look, we've got no fucking time to do Nintendo Switch Online updates. The trailer editor, he's just going mad on Switch 2 advertisements, and
maybe
the one office computer has been used for that, so we can't upload the ROMs to Nintendo Switch Online or something. Who knows?
When's Tokyo Game Show?
Be coming up soon.
26th of September. So when Echoes of Wisdom comes out, If they're going to do Switch 2 success reveal, it's this week. When you think?
Wow. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's this month at all.
I don't think so, but I've heard murmurings that there might be something, and that's the speculation. And then I've even heard October, but
yeah. I don't know if you sort of heard the rumor, but it was like, we're going to get new hardware announcement this month. It's like, all right. And then it turns out it was the Mario Wonder bundle in the Switch OLED. That was the hardware announcement for one of the leakers heard.
Is that what they were alluding to?
Yeah, it must have been. Okay. Yeah, Nintendo Australia had a post up.
Yes, I did.
It's like,
it's a pretty good deal though, $540, which is the standard OLED price. So you get Mario Wonder plus 12 months of NSO, Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah, not bad.
Not a bad deal. If you haven't
bought if you're upgrading to an OLED and you haven't picked up Wonder yet, yeah, absolutely. Very true. Yeah, good deal.
Yep.
Good deal. Yeah, no. So yeah, that's all the games you've been playing, Josh?
That is it. Nothing else. I still think about MEO though. I'm still thinking about that game, and I really shouldn't. It's been nearly 2 weeks since I finished that game. I just it lingers. So I think I want to play The Girl Who Stood Behind.
It's crazy at the end how Barney the dinosaur was MEO the whole time.
Yeah, correct.
I don't know how he fit that big purple head underneath that bag, but he did.
Yeah, he just managed to do it.
It's crazy.
Just wasn't expecting it, and they're the best ones, honestly.
Ones you don't expect, they're the best.
Yeah, Big Bird next time. That'll be awesome seeing him come into play.
Yeah. It's basically just Five Nights at Freddy's, but Sesame Street. That's what MEO turned into. It's just
Yep.
All right. So I'll touch on a game. I touched on a game I've been playing.
Yep.
And it was one I was looking forward to, and I picked it up for free on the Epic Games Store. I'm glad that I did. This game was called Rugrats Adventures in Gameland, and this is literally an NES game. So Limited Run is the publisher, and they're doing the physical production for the game as well. But the game is literally a 2D platformer. It's in 8-bit, and also you can swap to modern graphics, which is a really nice hand-drawn art style, which looks like it's ripped straight from the 90s Rugrats cartoon, which has a very unique art style. And I was a massive Rugrats fan when I was a kid. I loved Rugrats. In year 4, I remember for whatever reason, I had 3 favorite cartoons, which I loved. One was Rugrats, and the others were The Simpsons and Garfield. I don't know if that's kind of a strange combination of my favorite things.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. I remember like the Simpsons Pickers and all that. But Rugrats, I used to get magazines. It was called Rugrats Around the World, and every issue was a different country, and it'll go like all different facts and coloring in pages and stickers and stuff all about the different countries. And I remember being fascinated with like just the world, different countries, all of that. Learned a lot from my little Rugrats friends from the magazines. I think my parents still have this. It's one of the things they bring up, like, when are you going to take these goddamn Rugrats magazines? And it's the type of thing that I don't want to get rid of, but I really don't want to store in my house. I really don't.
No.
So yeah, I've got a lot of nostalgia for Rugrats. So yeah,
I don't blame you.
I wanted to pick this up. It was on my wish list for like all year, and I didn't know what the price was. And they said it was free on Epic Games. I'm like, cool, I'm getting it there. There's so much coming out. I want my money to stretch out a little bit. Obviously, with Zelda and the Plucky Squire coming out later this week, I'm like, I've got plenty to play. I can let this one slip. But since it was free, straight into my lamp, played it on Epic Games Store.
Yeah.
And it turned out that it's actually a very expensive game, especially for the length. It's only 6 levels, takes about 3 hours to complete, and they were asking like $36 for it, Australian. And I don't quite understand the pricing, because it was $30 on PlayStation Network. Then on Steam and Nintendo, it was $36. So I've got no idea what's going on with the PlayStation Store, but there's been a few examples this year where they've had like a significantly cheaper version on the PlayStation Store, even than like PC, which everybody says like, oh, how cheap games are on PC. As somebody who looks at all the stores, they're not. They're not. But yeah, it was a little bit too much to ask. I'm like, $36 for like a very short game.
Yeah. Bit too much.
I would not have jumped on that. That's for sure. And going into the game was not very good. had great chip tune music. The art looked nice when it was just still. But at heart, this is an NES game. This game literally runs on an NES. I think the PC version, if you go into the code, you can literally pull out an NES ROM and put it into an emulator and play it that way. Because Limited Run were literally making NES cartridges that you could play on the original NES.
Cool.
So the game was built around being an NES game. So when you're playing in the modern graphics, it feels very stiff and rigid. When you look at it, it feels like you should be able to like hop and bop around like you do in Rayman or any of these other like real stylized 2D platformers. So that sort of, it felt weird jumping into like the modern era. And also like in the modern graphics, it was hard to see where to go. Like I get to like a dead end. I'm like, where do I go? Then I swap to NES. Then on the NES graphics, so I can easily see that I need to like duck and crawl. But there was no real indication in the modern graphics. So it felt like their time was split between like two art styles, and the NES graphics, they're fine. They look like an NES game. But it felt like it was just split between two different art styles. And I ultimately think that they did just the modern graphics just to stand out in marketing material, which worked for me. That's when I first saw the game. Oh, look, a Rugrats game. It looks like Rugrats. That looks cool. But it didn't really add any value to the game apart from it looks nice and you're swapping between them. But when actually playing the game, it was just a little bit frustrating. Couldn't see where to go sometimes. Hitboxes were, not really what you would expect them to be and all of that. But the actual platforming itself and the levels, they're very basic, very boring. Just there's like, for example, the game is very much based off of Mario Brothers 2. So you've got you've got the 4 different baby characters. You've got Tommy, who's basically Mario, who's the all-rounder. You've got Chucky, who's got Luigi's ability, where he can do like the flutter kick. You've got Phil, who's like the strong character, who I guess would be Toad. And then, who is it? Lil, who's basically Princess Peach. She can float with like her dress. So it's very based off of that. But it just resorts to like, I can't jump up there. So you got to pick up some blocks, chuck them into a pile, jump up to progress throughout the levels. And then there's some other like just really annoying enemy placements where like they're shooting projectiles and you cannot sort of easily get by them without taking damage. And then you've got big knockback which a lot of these NES games had. Then you fall down a couple of screens, you got to go back up, and there was a lot of sort of moments at night time where I'm like, Christ almighty, I just want this game done. Like, it's 6 levels.
Oh dear.
And I feel like it's taken me like twice the length of Astro Bot. Like, Astro Bot, I didn't even think about the time. Like, oh, look, it's 12 o'clock. You know, that's my cutoff time. Otherwise, tomorrow's going to be very hard. But yeah, I was thinking about every minute I was playing Rugrats, and I was it yesterday? So yeah, Saturday. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the last level. I was struggling with it a little bit, just late at night. So I come to it with fresh eyes, and I did it. Beat the last boss, and it was very whatever. I don't know. I'm very unimpressed with it, and I'm very happy that I got it for free. I hate to be so down on the game, but yeah. Especially one I was like, yeah, look, that looks awesome. It's on my wish list. It's been there forever, but for the price and just how many 2D platformers are out there that are just phenomenal. This is just a bare bones sort of nothing game. It's just it's good for my Rugrats nostalgia. It was nice to go back and listen to the Rugrats theme in the main menu and a little bit of play-ons of the theme throughout the levels and things.
Yeah. But that was about
it. Yeah, it was disappointing. There's no way in hell I could recommend this game for a price over $10. Like, yeah, no way. Like, if it was 6 very well made levels, I'm like, yeah, man, like, you know, wait for a sale, PlayStation Plus, Game Pass, whatever have you. But yeah, no, it's definitely not worth that price. It's just a little bit insane. But I will say, like, the music was cool. Some really cool little chip tunes. Have you bopping a little bit through the levels. And I did go and get I got my first Epic Game Store Platinum. I never played a game on Epic Store before. I got some of the free games they give out, but I've never actually played one.
Yep.
So I got to experiment a bit with their achievement system, and they just ripped off PlayStation's achievement system. I laughed because I went to the main menu and I saw that they have like platinums. I'm like, you didn't even bother like renaming it. You didn't even try to call them like some Fortnite lingo or anything like that. You're just like, nah, she's a platinum.
Yep.
So yeah, I went in and just cleaned up the trophies, or they call them experience points. They don't actually use the trophies, but when I got the last few achievements, which was just get all the coins in each level, which was simple enough. I was missing like 1 on 3 courses. They're not hidden all that well, to be honest with you. So I got most of them along the way. And there was one for like in the game you get cookies, which are basically extra lives for each character. So you can swap between all 4 of the characters whenever you want throughout the levels, which is pretty cool. So like, say you're Tommy, he's about to die. If he gets one more hit, you can swap the Chucky, and you can use his health. They've got separate health bars. So there's a cookie which basically gives you an extra life, and you can collect. The achievement asks that you got like 4 cookies for each character. So I just ran through the first level a few times, just collecting those cookies, getting those babies, those juicy cookies, and got my platinum, my Epic Game Store Platinum, which was exciting as hell.
Did it feel cheap? Felt same but different?
Yeah, no, like, you know, with a platinum trophy, there's a good feeling with the PlayStation achievement system. But yeah, like I'm not invested in the Epic Game Store ecosystem. So yeah, I can't really say I care, but there wasn't much work to do after I finished the game. So look, I may as well just wrap it up. So when I can deliver my criticism, I'm like, hey, I've got the Epic Game Store Platinum.
Pretty good.
Certified. Yeah. But yeah, a little bit disappointed on that front, but I would be...
It is a shame, yeah.
I had a look at some reviews. There was... I read one that was very grueling, which was just like, this game was fucking torture to play. I've seen others from like Press Start Australia, which was a lot more kind to the game. They were just like, oh, look, it's a great retro, nostalgic Rugrats platformer. I'm like, yeah, I guess so, but it's got to be a good game too. You know, it's not just bopping around with Chucky and Tommy. It's got to be a bit better platformer than that. But
yeah,
I guess
it's got branded. It's not just a random 2D platformer. It's got a bit of, nostalgia and people wanting to buy into it for a reason, and switching between 2D and 3D I think is a cool idea on paper. It would get people in. But when it has been executed well, that's definitely disappointing. So I'm sorry, man, that's not good.
I do wonder, how you say about swapping between the two art styles. I just feel like it would have been, you could probably have a lot better and bigger game just focusing on the NES art style. I do understand though that it's not as marketable apart from like nostalgic people that like Rugrats and NES games, which is, I don't know the market for that. Probably not many.
Yeah.
And even me, who's like, I love the Rugrats cartoon. If it didn't look like the cartoon, would I have been interested in it in the first place? I don't know. So it's a tricky one. It's hard for the developers to sort of get that the balance right. But definitely stay away from this game unless you got it on the Epic Game Store as well for free, which I'm glad I did. But like $36. It's like I could not see anybody being happy paying that. No. And it makes me sort of question like the reviewers who got a code for it, because I don't know if they would have known how much the game cost or anything, but I always hate this argument where people say, oh look, it's not 10 hours, it's not worth, it's only 10 hours, it's not worth $60 or full price. But if it's like a quality experience and it sits with you when you had so much fun and it's got replay value, whatever have you, I think that all has merit. But when it comes to just like this game in particular, it's short, it's forgettable, it's below average. It's like, oh well, it's didn't really hit on any of the fronts. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But another game I'm playing at the moment because I'm sort of just waiting for the Plucky Squire. Really looking forward to that. That's on PlayStation Plus Extra, Josh. So that's where I'll be playing it.
Hey,
nice price tag there since I'm already subscribed, which I quite like.
Awesome.
I'm playing Stellar Blade. I've come back to that after Astro Bot, and really enjoying that. There's the story's unfolding, and it's actually very interesting. It's one of those games, Josh, where there's a lot of like jargon and like world building stuff where you're dropped into this world and you're like, what the fuck are you on about? You're on about androids and nativas and all this stuff. I got no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I've played it for like 9 hours, I think my PlayStation clock said, and I'm like, it's unfolding. I'm understanding things a bit better now. There was like a big war that happened between like man-made androids and the human race, and how that played out. And then this other race appeared called Antivas, which basically wiped out androids, which were on the precipice of eliminating the human race. And it was like, it's very interesting. And like a big story moment happened, which sort of revealed a lot last night. And I'm like, huh. So it's a very interesting game, and like so stylized, amazing sort of action sequences. I'm playing on like story mode, and I've got a lot of help when it comes to the action combat, because it's all about parrying, timing, combos, all of that type of thing. Yep. And when I get to my game consoles at 9 o'clock at night, I'm not going to be like, all right, it's time to get good. It's time to parry. It's time to get perfect. I'm like, look, I understand the season of life at the moment. It's not getting good at video games. It's enjoying video games. It's using them to, relax and unwind, taking great stories, great characters, have fun. And it's not about getting good. Maybe when Lucas is at the stage of his life where he's like, Dad, get good at these games with me. I'm like, all right, son, let's get good together. Maybe then, I don't know. But I'm glad that it has the option, because otherwise it would have just been me maybe on the first or second boss being like, fuck, this is too hard. Because literally like, say like an enemy, not all the time, but I think like in some bosses, like an enemy's about to hit you, and then it comes up with like what button to hit, like time slows right down, and you can do your parry. I'm like, brilliant. I know some people will look down on that, being like, you're not a true gamer, especially like what the Souls community's like just get good, all of this type of thing.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm like, yo, look, I'll get good another day, not now though.
Not right now.
Yeah, that's why I haven't. Yeah, that's why I haven't really played any of like the Souls games, just because I don't know if I have the bandwidth right now to do that type of stuff.
No, don't put yourself through that right now.
Because it frustrates me as well. Like even like Elden Ring, I respect it. Like all that, you just got to get good at the game. I think that's actually kind of cool. But I don't understand why there's no pause button. You can't pause the game. Got no idea why that's weird. The case.
Yeah.
Because like that is such a no-go. Like if you've got kids or something else going on in your life, like I need to pause my game. Like the game doesn't take precedent over the rest of my life. I've got to pause the game because I got to go and do something. So that kind of puts me off that a little bit. But yeah, we'll get to it. Yeah,
I want to play that game one day as well though.
Yeah, no, really cool, really cool. I last night I unlocked some outfits for Eve, the playable character. When this game came out, there was a lot of controversy around like Eve because very revealing, just well put together female protagonist. It's just like I don't know I got no idea what the controversy was. I don't know whether it was people thinking she's too revealing or I got no idea. There's a lot of controversies online which is just dumb, so I got no idea. But I got some new outfits. Like, nice. Oh look, I've got one of her in a sweater with some glasses. She's a nerd, ha ha ha. And another one where she's I don't know. I can't remember the rest. Wearing a jumper and some dumb shit.
Something else.
Something else. Yeah, I noticed one with like nothing. I'm not going to use that one.
No, not with the kids around.
Not with anyone around.
No fair.
What the fuck are you doing, Drew? Nothing.
Don't watch.
Yeah. So pretty much just playing that. Waiting for the Plucky Squire, which Are you going to play that? Is that on your radar at all?
Not really. I'm sure I'll hear some very good things about it. Is it this week? When's it out?
Wednesday, I think.
Wednesday. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll hear some things, but yeah, it's one of those games I've just heard some very good things about, and very much like people are hyped for it. I don't have PlayStation Plus at the moment, so if I was going to play it, I'd probably just re-sign for that. But yeah, I've got some good things to keep me busy at the moment, so probably not looking for anything extra right now.
Yeah, no, fair enough. You still got Astro Bot. Savor that game, because once it's over, Josh, she's over.
Have to get the VR set out and play the original.
Yeah, I really wish I could, because I actually have the game, but I don't have the VR headset, which is so annoying because I've got the VR 2
compatible.
Oh, so
lack of
so
backwards
annoying.
Compatibility.
Oh, so frustrating.
I get it.
There's like a couple of games that aren't on PlayStation VR 2, which I really want. There's one which is like an everything except for it. I want to play Super Hot, and I want to play Astro Bot, but they're just they're not on it, which is annoying. But there's actually an Australian-made game, Max Mustard, coming to VR 2, which is a Astro Bot-like, I guess, like a 3D platformer in VR. Really looking forward to that. It comes out early next month.
Been marketing that game.
He has been.
Yes.
And he must have marketed it to me because I'm like, oh, cool, that's nice. Yeah. It worked.
I'll play that.
Like a marketer's dream, especially if you're doing a cool looking game. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Will I buy it? Maybe.
Will you play it? You'll buy it, but will you play it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll definitely play it. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm very much on the PlayStation at the moment. It's just, I go through ebbs and flows of what I'm playing. Finished up MEO, and I guess just a lot of the stuff this month, especially apart from Zelda, which will swing me back to Switch. But yeah, it's all mainly been on PlayStation, just with Astro Bot and Stellar Blade, and I'll be playing Plucky Squire there as well. So it's just on top of my mind at the moment. That's why, a lot of the news based around them as well, like the PS5 Pro announcement and everything as well. It's just top of mind for me. And I brought the Switch to work today, trying to get through some Luigi's Mansion 2, but I didn't end up playing it.
I've completely fallen off that. Don't know if I'll ever get back onto it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a task, isn't it? Trying to get back to it.
It's just not my radar right now with other things.
No, it's not on mine either. But I'm like, maybe if I could do like a mission at lunchtime each day, and I just chip through it like that, and it doesn't take up my main game time at night time. But
Make it sound like such a chore, Drew. Like you have to get through it.
Yeah. Well, I really wanted to get through it.
Yeah.
But it's also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah. All right, Josh. Before we head off, I guess just we did just mention the PlayStation 5 Pro, as far as like new hardware goes within the industry. It's been a little while. We've been waiting. It's crazy that in the time we've been waiting for like a Switch Pro, we've got the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro within like that time. We've been like, when are we going to get an upgraded Switch? And we're still waiting. We're still here.
Still waiting.
And we would have got like 3 versions of the PlayStation 5 in that time, literally.
Yep. Yeah, true.
So here we are. How do you feel about the PS5 Pro? It's it's a costly one. It's a How do you feel about it?
I mean, like, I don't know. This one compared to PS4 Pro seems like, if you only care about fidelity and switching between that and performance mode, then this is for you. But if you don't care about that, then you're paying a lot more for something you don't care about. So, I think it's got a limited appeal. We're at that stage now with graphics where it's a diminishing return, where the focus remains on that. I think a lot of games look the same, or they're not the thing that woos me over, personally anyway. It does for other people, and it's a big part of, their experience. They want the, stable frames. They want to make sure the ray tracing's there, switching between performance and fidelity. People have their viewpoints on, but I don't know. For this one, I just can't see the big justification in the price to $1,200 here in Australia. Worth it. I don't know. There's tech geeks who love that stuff, and they'll buy it day one. There's always going to be that, but I'd be really interested to see if this sells well and if they deem it a success sometime later. Because I don't know. I just feel if they continue to do this kind of thing going forward, whether there really is any real benefit to it. This is from a Nintendo fan who does not, gameplay is the number one thing, and a fun time. This is completely different and not anything Nintendo considers when they build consoles and make games.
Did you ever get the PS4 Pro?
No, just had my PS4 stuck through with that. Yep. I mean, I'm an update to my OLED. So, I get the OG and I just stick with it.
True, yeah.
So I'm a Nintendo fan. I couldn't even justify the OLED upgrade. So, this is never going to interest me. Yeah,
no, that's fair enough. I am the person. This is probably
that was my question for you.
Where I do appreciate like the upgrades and the niceties and all of that. My idea, like this was leaked and rumored for a long time, the PS5 Pro. So my idea was like, if I can trade in my PS5 and do a swap for $300, I'll be happy. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Because 2017 I got a PS4 Pro, and here in Australia they retailed for $560. So when the PS4 originally came out, that was $550. So a little about the same price. So the Pro came out, the PS4 went down in price, and then just took over that price market. So I didn't expect that. I expected, with what a lot of these console manufacturers have been doing, they've been putting up prices. And if you buy a PS5 now, it's more expensive today than it was launch day. And it's just, we're in a different world. Post-COVID, inflation, how our money works for us these days, it's completely different. So
Yep.
I expected to be like, all right, it'll be like $1,000 here in Australia. But yeah, same that price. It's $1,200 here, and it doesn't include a disk drive. So that's
right?
that's another $160 that I would have to put on top because I get physical PlayStation 5 games. But it's just like it's just so much more than like the base PS5. It's like you're not asking for a couple of extra $100. It's like, man, that's like pretty much like almost a whole Switch on top of your PS5. Like it's just nuts.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's frustrating that the disc drive and the stand aren't included for that price. Like the stand, which is
Not
just
even the
like,
stand.
no, the stand. It's $50 for the stand. If you want to stand that boy up, that's $50.
Wow. So it's just $1,200 of what? So I'm looking on JB. You can get a slim console for $800. So is that the standard recommended retail price of the slim PS5?
Yeah,
Slim?
that's the slim with a disc drive. Yeah, so it's $800.
So an extra $400 without a drive or a stand.
Yeah, I mean the slim doesn't come with a stand either.
Doesn't it?
No, it's in the pictures, but no, it doesn't come in the box.
Yep, it's in the fine print. Vertical stand sold separately. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, they're doing something over there. Which, look, if I probably will end up with a PS5 Pro someday, but yeah, there's nothing driving me to like make that money work. Like sell a PlayStation 5, sell a couple other gaming things around the place that I don't use. Put that money together.
Yeah.
Get the disc drive, put it together. Like it's a lot of work. for not a whole lot, because in the demonstration when they were showing like, oh, Ratchet and Clank, the backgrounds are much cleaner. I'm like, Ratchet and Clank, you are jumping and bopping around and smashing crates and shit's flying everywhere. You will not notice fuck all in the background. You will not see nothing. There's no way in hell.
Yep.
Like
Correct.
There's so much going on. You're not like, holy shit, did you see that crowd? Did that guy in the background?
Yep.
It was crazy clear.
Yes. If you're really looking, but yeah.
But what I do appreciate, because where I can, I do not want to play games under 60 frames a second. That is important to me, and that's not just a tech thing. That is just a gameplay thing for me because it feels so much better.
Yeah.
Playing at 60 frames a second. Like I played through Spider-Man Remastered on PS5, had it in performance mode, 60 frames. I didn't even think about it, and then I started up Spider-Man 2. I'm like, what the fuck? This feels awful. Like I'm just like, well, what's going on? I'm like, oh, wait a second. I went to the settings. I had the fidelity mode on. I'm like, oh, that's why, because it's at 30 frames. So yeah, obviously when it comes to frame rate, I care about it, and if I can have those really nice graphics as well, that'd be nice on top of the 60 frames. But that is what you're buying. So if you're like in the market for like a console, it's like if that's important to you, it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm spending a bit more today so I can have a pretty picture and have a nice fluid image as well. That is what this console is. It's nothing too exciting. It's not like a brand new experience or whatever. It's just like, oh, it's just a little bit better.
I thought it was funny. They showcased PS4 games while they were showcasing this Pro.
Yeah, people are saying that, but I didn't notice. What games were they showing on PS4? Because they did mention that it upscales PS4 games too and stuff too, but they weren't really that clear about what
Like
PS4
The Last
games
of
and how it does it.
Was it Ratchet and Clank? Or was that the new one?
Yeah, they're all PS5 games because The Last of Us Part 2 is on PS5. Got a remaster at the start of this year.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I can't remember the other games, but that was just the discourse I was hearing. So you don't reckon that's the case?
I just don't know. Not sure. Yeah, I don't remember seeing any PS4 games. But yeah, so you're not going to run out and buy one, Josh?
No. I've looks like EB don't have their pre-order trade deal up yet. Is that right? So you don't know what you'll have to pay extra to upgrade?
No, well, yeah, it won't be. It won't be like, just that $300 threshold, which I initially thought. So I might.
It'll be there's a $400 gap between a new PS5 Slim and then this one, so it's gonna be like
that's right,
$500 or $600, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, it's a no go for me, especially this year.
Yeah, okay, so you're not going to get it straight away.
No, definitely not straight away. But I think I will end up with one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, not any time soon. There's got to be a game that sort of I'm really looking forward to, which utilizes it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what that is. It's probably like the next Naughty Dog game, to be honest with you. I don't know what would really drive me. Like, oh look, I want to play this, looking the best and running the best.
Yeah.
A lot of people are pointing towards like GTA 6 because it is like a console exclusive on Xbox and PlayStation. It's like, yeah, well, it will make it the best place to play the most popular game in the world next year.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a thing going for it. But a lot of people are very upset, but I don't know why. Don't really know why you'd be upset. It's just like, well, if it's an outrageous price for you, just don't buy it.
Yep.
But if you already have a PlayStation, that's great. If you want to go and spend it on like a Switch or something as well, over your wallet.
Makes the Switch look so cheap, God, in comparison. Man, it's crazy.
Yeah. The Switch is coming up to 8 years though. So I feel like it should be cheaper than what it is. It would be nice.
Yeah. What price are you expecting that to be? Because the OLED's $540 here in Australia.
Yeah.
I'm expecting $650 minimum.
Yeah, I would say so. They're going to these companies. I think why the PS5 Pro is so expensive is they've had to raise prices because inflation catches up, and they raise prices. This Pro, they're like, all right, we're gonna skip a couple of those things, so we're not putting the price of this up. We're gonna have this at a very a very good spot for us, so we're not having to raise the prices and look silly down the line.
Yeah,
but for Nintendo, I feel like it's going to be a $650 console here, and honestly, I don't mind if it's expensive because I want them to make the best thing they can make. I don't want them to be like, oh look, we're going to put a crappy screen in it to set back prices, and we're going to put a crappy CPU. We're going to put all this crap in it just to make it cheaper, because we've got to put up with this for the next at least 5 to 8 years without any upgrades when it comes to Nintendo. That's also why I do like the Pro models, because like for you, Josh, you're like, I really don't care. It's just don't buy it. It's easy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But for people out there do like, and a lot of people are bringing up the talking point of why don't you just go and buy a PC, just play PC. Well, the reason I'd prefer to get like a souped up PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo is just because it turns on and it works. Because with like my PC and my ROG Ally, I've like literally, if I know I'm going to get a brand new game on PC the next day, I've got to like turn it on the day before just so it updates and drivers. And I literally got to do a maintenance check for it like the night before. Whereas like on your PS5 or Switch or whatever, you're not doing that. It's just like, oh look, MEO came out. You just go onto the eShop and download it, or you put in the cartridge and you're done. Like it's
that's right.
You're off to the races. But yeah, PC, there's just so much work involved in it, and like for me as well, like I turn on the PC, log in, password is my firewall up to date. Like you got to like get like a firewall subscription to protect it. And all this shit, which is just like, I appreciate the freedom that PC gaming brings you, but
the customization, obviously people,
which is it's fantastic, and there's a spot for it. But I think console gaming and PC and mobile gaming and everything can sort of help each other a lot more than people say. Like it's either got to be one or the other. I don't really agree with that. It's just nice to be able to turn on a box every now and again, but. I think lot of people that would listen to this, Nintendo fans, kind of get that. They just
Yeah.
want to have to do anything just to put in the cartridge and go. It's the only sort of platform that sort of
Yep.
holds true to not being online all the time.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I think, yeah, times like this where I appreciate that even more. So,
Yeah, I was thinking today too, like the next system, like I can't just change what I'm doing on Switch now. It kind of hurts my OCD a little bit. But on the next system, they will still have physical games. Will I go back to playing physical games? Because the landscape has changed so much since the Switches came out. When I got the Switch, it's like what I was playing all of my games on, and I wanted them all available to pick up and play. But now that there's so much out, I feel like Nintendo actually has to win me over a little bit more than they did when the Switch came out to play third-party stuff there. Because now I have so many options with Steam Deck, ROG Ally, and I guess, PlayStation, all of this stuff, which I'm really enjoying.
Yep.
What will they do to draw me over to play third-party games there? Because at the moment, like, I'm really enjoying, like, trophy hunting, achievement hunting, and, like, Nintendo's the only place that doesn't have that. And, I'm sort of just like, I hope they do a few things to really excite me to play all games on their platform, not just Mario and all that. So if they don't win me over, if I'm just like, oh look, it will just be a Nintendo machine for me. I mainly just play those games one at a time, so I don't have to have all my games on me at all the time. So I might just pick them up physically and play it and put it back in the case and move on to the next game and just go through them there, and I'll have a physical collection again that maybe I can share with my kids as well, because Christ, by the time the next Nintendo system's out of commission, they'll be teenagers probably. No, not quite, but
close too. I mean, the third-party support was massive on the Switch and really helped it get those software sales targets, didn't it? Over 1 billion pieces of software have been sold on the Switch, and just continues to, or at least close to 1 billion now. I'm not quite sure if it has reached 1 billion, but very, very close at least. And then, it benefited from, here's a game that you love, but now it's portable. Go along and play it for a bit and, experience it in a different way, play it wherever you want, go back on that nostalgia trip. But yeah, no, you're right. It's a Steam Deck. There's all these other portable options that can sort of do those things already. I just think there's still that massive broader appeal that the Switch has that the Steam Deck and the OLEDs, Steam Decks and the ROG Allies just don't have. And so, just you hope that with, the other, hopefully there might be something different from the Switch to the Switch 2 that enhances the gameplay outside of being handheld that might get you across. But, we'll see whether it's, because I think third-party developers are lining up to be part of this one again. This Switch 2.
Definitely.
They want to get their games out there. We'll see, eventually like an Elden Ring come. We'll see, Resident Evil and all those games. They'll come to the Switch too. They'll, re-release it with new DLC or, a complete edition bundling everything together, and you can play that portably for the first time. You'd be like, hell yeah, I'm gonna buy that. So, yeah, we'll see. Yep. Yeah. All to be proven still.
I just feel like a little bit frustrated with how bare bones some stuff on Switch is. Like, where like you can't see how long you've played a game for until like, almost 2 weeks, and then it doesn't even like specifically tell you.
Yep.
Well, just a bunch of small things like that. I'm like, like they can't even tell you that. Whereas like all the other platforms at least say like, hey, look, you've put this many hours into this game. It's like, thanks.
Yeah. They were very mindful of the RAM when it came to the Switch, and that's why there's only 2 different themes: the black and the white. They didn't, 4 gigs of RAM, and that was it, and it was just about the games, literally. So, we'll see what the specs are this time around if there's a bit more to play with.
Hopefully, I'll be very happy if there's a few different options as well for like Switch 2. It'd be kind of cool. Would you like to see a box only version? Like they have one which is like a bit cheaper and it's just like a box under your TV. The other one is like, obviously the hybrid model. Because you mainly just play on TV. So would you be like, oh, look, I'll just get it cheaper? And even if they do like a box that actually performs better too, I would actually quite appreciate having the options to swap between them and all of that. So yeah, how do you feel?
It defeats the purpose as well that it's called a Switch, but you can only play it in one way.
The next one might not be called a Switch. I think we're all sort of saying that it will be because it'd be silly not to use that strong marketing, strong brand recognition.
Yeah,
but
I get you. I just don't believe that's the case. I believe it is going to be Switch something. So
yeah,
and that the handheld thing's worth it. I don't know. Like I love docking it and playing it in docked mode, but I do enjoy the fact that I can have it right here and I can check something. So it's still, that appeal to me is still there, even for someone who plays 90% plus docked. I like the fact that it is handheld still. So I would definitely be keen for the hybrid to continue, and I don't know if I'd really seriously consider the docked by itself, even if it had graphical upscaling of some kind. I said that
I would have both probably. I don't know.
You would add it to your game trolley, make it even bigger.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
just extension to the game trolley.
Trade in one of your PS5s there for your PS5 Pro. So it's a lot of your games that you bought with me earlier this year. Make up the difference, then buy it day one.
Yeah, that's right. Just return those.
Yeah.
Still got to play them too, Josh.
Which one?
I wanted to
choose one.
I've got to choose one.
Yep.
I've got one in my mind, but the name of it's escaping me. JRPG on Xbox 360. Oh no. No, it's escaped me, Josh. It's too late at night.
That's all right. We'll come back to that one. Action item for next one. Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey, Tales of Vesperia.
Lost Odyssey. Thank you. Yeah, Lost Odyssey.
Cool.
I was very happy to find that for like a decent price. So yeah, I want to play that. But yeah, just do not have the gaming time for that. Plenty of gaming time, but not gaming time for that. For a almost 20-year-old game on Xbox 360 right now. There's a little bit coming out that I'm trying to keep up to date with, which is all good fun. Brings me a lot of joy. But guess we'll talk about some of that next week, Josh.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to touch on before we lock up the doors?
Nope. But we'll get some Nintendo news this week. Just you wait. It has to be something.
Get
biggish this
too.
week. It's been too quiet, so I'm just saying that now. Ominous for next episode.
Yeah, if it happens in between like us recording this and the episode releasing, know that we're wrapping this up on Monday, the 16th of September at 9:49 p.m.
SA time.
South Australian time. Of course. So, just letting you know, this wasn't... Switch 2 looks awesome, doesn't it, Josh?
An announcement 80 minutes from now, 70 minutes from now.
I don't know. I don't expect it to ever happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. Like, there's no logical time in my head for it to happen now because it's just been such a drawn out thing we've all been waiting for, which just never happens.
Yep. Yep. Correct. Won't believe it until it happens.
No. But everybody, thank you very much for listening to the House of Mara episode 287. Josh, plugs, your show, all of that stuff.
Yes. So my other podcast, Nintendbania, is also a Nintendo podcast every fortnight on Spotify and YouTube. Last episode was last week. I had Oliver Brandt from Vooks. He's a writer there, and he loved MEO, The Smiling Man. Famicom Detective Club. We both loved it. We talked a lot about that game, reviewed that, and please check out the latest episode if you're so interested. And I had a little 15-minute chat with him post the episode as well that I'm going to post to my Patreon supporters. We talked a little bit about spoilers in the game, so keep an ear out for that if you're so interested as well.
What's under Big Bird's suit? Is it a man or something else?
It was Grimace, actually, from
Oh my god,
McDonald's. That dude.
It's like one of those Russian
dude.
dolls. Just all these Sesame Street characters. Just look, it's Big Bird. It's
always the ones you least expect.
yeah, it is. But until next time, guys. Thank you very much. I better do my plugs actually. YouTube.com/iDruby. I did a video unboxing the Astro Bot controller. Go and check that out. That's actually doing quite well. My unboxing videos always seem to go okay. So I need to buy more shit and unbox it on the internet.
Some of my stuff's good. I will admit it is the most boring box in terms of you just open the box and it's just the controller.
All the PlayStation ones, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There's not even a charging cable, which I find funny, but yeah, not very good. I'm happy. That's good.
Yeah, so go and check that out. But yeah, that's what I've had time to do the last week. But yes, enough of that. All right, guys, thank you very much for listening. But until next time, the doors to the house, Mario, they're closed. Catch you later.